It'd be funny if that worked.
Hello.
Hello.
Selena and Abby are here with me to talk to you about the relationship between circles and lines. And so here we have a circle and we have a stick from the box of sticks, and we're going to move the stick around to talk about different relationships to this circle. So I'm going to start. I have to just kind of measure out my space here. So here we have this stick. This stick is outside of the circle. It's not inside the circle. It's not touching the circle. It's outside the circle. We call this external. It's external. It's outside of the circle. Now where is the line?
It's still outside the circle.
Still outside the circle. External. How about here?
Still outside the circle.
Still outside the circle. What about now?
It's touching the circle.
It's touching the circle. We call this tangent. Tangent is Latin, tangere, meaning to touch. So when it touches just on the edge there, just in one place, that's called tangent. Okay, now how about here?
Now it's inside.
The line goes inside. It actually cuts through the circle in these two spots. So it's not tangent, because tangent means it touches in one location. This is called secant, and secant comes to us from the Latin secare, meaning to cut. It cuts through the circle. Okay, how about here?
Still cutting through the circle.
Still cutting through, and we call that
Secant.
secant. How about here?
Still inside.
Still secant. How about there?
It's touching one spot.
Touching one spot. We call that tangent.
Tangent.
Okay, and how about here?
It is no longer touching any part of the circle.
It's outside the circle. It's called external.
External.
Okay, external to the circle, tangent to the circle, meaning it's touching in one place. Secant to the circle, it's touching in two places. It's cutting, to cut. Tangent to touch, secant to cut. Okay, so tangent, remember, was to touch. Touches in one place. And secant is to cut, and it cuts in two places. I had one more word I used that I didn't make a label for. Who remembers what it was?
Exterior.
Oh, exterior? External.
External.
They mean the same thing, don't they?
Yeah.
Exterior is like the outside. External can be out. External. External. Secant. Tangent. Okay. I don't know if that's enough for one lesson, so we're going to gather a couple more materials and do one more with this one. It also talks about relationship between things, but this one's going to be relationship between of one circle to another circle. And so we just did lines with circles, but we're also going to do circles to circles. But you got to hold on while I get my space ready. Hang on just a second. Okay, we're back. Just a few seconds ago, we were talking about the relationship of a line to a circle. And then I said that wasn't enough for a whole lesson. So we're going to look at the relationship between two circles. So I'm going to set our line out of our way. And I want you to see our two circles. We have a blue circle that's smaller than this orange circle. Now we're going to be moving these circles and naming how they are in relation to each other. So here I have two circles, a blue circle and an orange circle, and they're not touching. So we could say that the blue circle is outside of the orange circle. Abby, do you know what the word is for something that's outside?
External.
External. The blue circle is external, the orange circle. Okay, I'm gonna slowly move the blue circle closer to the orange circle. Ready? It's still external. Stop! Oh,
Moved it.
It surprised me. These two circles, the blue circle and the orange circle, are now touching each other in one place. Selena, what was our word for touch?
Tangent.
Tangent. Now, these circles are tangent, but this is still external. It's still outside of this other circle, so we call this externally tangent. The circle is external, outside. That looked funny. There we go, pointed that way. Outside of the circle, external, and it's tangent. It's externally tangent. Wow. Okay, so now I'm going to lift the blue one up a little bit. Okay, so now they're moving together, and now the blue one is touching the circle in two places. We learned this with the line. When the line cut a circle in two places, we called it
Secant.
secant. So this blue circle is secant to the orange circle. It's cutting it in those two places. Okay, secant, 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 secant. Uh-oh, something happened. Selena, this was your word last time. They're touching in one place, but that one place is on the inside of it. What does it mean to touch?
Tangent.
Tangent, and it's inside. So do you know what it's called if it's tangent on the inside?
Internally tangent.
Internally tangent. On the inside, it's tangent. See how it's tangent on the inside of the orange circle? You see it? Okay. So exciting. Okay.
Abby's like, meh.
No, you find it exciting. This is like your favorite work ever. Sit forward, you're falling out of the camera. Okay, so now I'm gonna move this over. Now it's just internal. It's inside, internal, 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 internal. Oh, hold on a second. It's internal inside, but I think that it's the same distance on all four quadrants, all four edges. Let's see what happens if I place our little spacers. We put our little spacers here, we can see that these two circles are equidistant or the same distance apart on all sides. So if these two circles are equidistant from each other around, and we know that all circles are proportionate, all circles are the same dimensions. Knock everybody down. We can call these concentric. The word for two circles that share a center are called concentric circles. So if I had a smaller one, I don't think I have anything smaller than this blue one. I don't think so. I have a whole stack of circles that sit in the classroom.
This one?
Ooh. Oh, it's too small, or it's too close. We could put this one in there too, but it's exactly fits inside there. Okay, so we call that concentric. Concentric is when two circles share the same center and their lines are equidistant from each other. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving my blue circle. I gotta move them over here so we can have room. Now, as I move it across, I want you to think about this. We are touching the inside of the orange circle in exactly one place. What does it mean when we touch in one place?
Internally tangent.
Internally tangent. We're on the inside of the orange circle and it's touching in one place. Okay. Please stop touching those. She's just like a kid at a lesson. Can you imagine that? I know some of you are always having your fingers in my business when I'm giving a lesson. Some of them even try to take things before they're ready.
Uh-oh.
She knows who she is. Okay, so now our blue circle is cutting our orange circle. What do we call it when we cut a circle?
Secant.
Secant. Can you go get my phone? Someone is calling us. Okay, secant, 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 secant. I'll take that in just a minute. Secant, secant, secant. Oh, Selena, you know this one.
It's externally tangent.
Externally tangent. Okay, Abby, I'm giving you the hardest one. What's that?
Exterior. External.
Exterior works just fine. External or exterior. Okay, so I'm going to move it back over here and we're going to name it as it goes across and we're going to label it. The blue circle is exterior or external to the orange circle. You can say it either way. Either word works. External, it's outside of it. Okay. Now the blue circle is coming close and it's just barely touching in one spot. We call that tangent. And this is a special kind of tangent. This is
externally tangent.
Externally tangent. There it is. Externally tangent. I'm going to actually switch this out of gallery. Oh, it won't work because this is my speaker view. We can fix it. It works better when Selena doesn't scream like a little girl. Okay, so you should be able to see the big circles now. Okay, when the blue circle touches just tiny little bit, we call that externally tangent in one spot. Okay, Abby, now my blue circle's gonna cut across my orange circle. What do we call it when one cuts the other?
Secant.
Secant. These two circles are secant. Can either of you think of a place that we've seen two circles overlapping like this? You can tell they're not from our class. When we do compare contrast and we have a Venn diagram and we have like, these are the character traits of old Dan and these are the character traits of little Ann and these are what they share. Yeah, so a Venn diagram is a secant circles. Okay. I know, I get so excited about funny things. All right, now the blue one's gonna keep moving. It's still secant until now it's touching just in one place, but on the inside.
It is internally tangent.
These are internally tangent. The circles are touching in one place on the inside. Internally tangent. Okay. These two circles share a center. They are equidistant apart. If we measured their edges, we put these out. These circles are called concentric. They are concentric. Okay, I have one more word for you. That wasn't tangent, I just had to move it out of my way. Okay, this circle, anytime it's inside, not touching an edge and not concentric, so somewhere like right in there, is just called internal. It's inside, but it's not touching anything and it's not sharing any parts. So this blue circle is internal. Okay. Now I want you at home to say along with me. We're going to name all of these different parts. We're going to start with the stick. These two are going to say it too. So we're external, 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 tangent. Secant, 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 tangent, external, external, external. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with our circle, except we have all those extra circle words. External, 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 externally tangent. Secant, 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 secant. Internally tangent. Internal, internal, internal. Concentric.
Concentric.
Internal, internal, internally tangent. Oh. Secant, 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 secant. I gotta move over. Secant, secant, secant. Externally tangent. External. Whoa. That was a lot of words. That was challenging. Okay. So I hope that you enjoyed your relationship between lines and circles and circles and circles, and I can't wait to see your follow-up. Have a great day, everyone.
Goodbye.